Well, good evening. Welcome inside the Ken Nickel Regional Recreation Center as we're set to get underway here between the Beaumont Outlaws and the visiting Fort Saskatchewan Rebels in this Senior B matchup. The Outlaws coming into this game sitting third right now in the division through 7 games, 3-4-0, and they are, however, fresh off of a loss that to the Knights on Sunday by a score of 10-8 down south. The Rebels, on the other hand, sitting fourth, 2-4 through 6 games played. Also a loss, that time Monday, against the Senior Miners. Outlaws with the initial possession off the opening face-off. So that's going to get moved to Joe Royer. Royer passes back to Reyes. Reyes is going to cross to Ben Royer. Passing down low, now up high with it. Back over far side. There's going to be a penalty coming up on the play here to the Rebels. And it's not going to matter as Sebastian Simonson and Christian Reyes tag team a goal to go up early in this one, 1-0, 31 seconds in. Initial penalty was going to be a cross-checking call as an Outlaw went down really hard just on the top of the circle, and the Outlaws are going to make them pay on the delayed penalty call. This ball back down loose, little scrum for it, picked up by Luke Royer. They're going to call this an over and back. It's going to be Rebels ball. Flett passing up the far side is Kerr. Kerr goes to Beret. Beret looking down low. Cross pass, looking back door. So Rebels moving up high again to Beret. Beret and looking for a quick one-touch shot over on the far side. Rebels going to go wide with it. They do get a reset, however, as the Outlaws are going to pick that up, move back left to right. Outlaws are wearing the navy as quick pass across, looking right up high, and a nice stop by McMillan. It's McMillan starting goaltender here for the Rebels this evening. Back the other way, winds and rips one on. And that one, Hetman had the stoppage on. Playing a little bit of hot potato here, the two goaltenders, is now be just shoveled over, and the Rebels going to move back right to left wearing the road whites, black and red trim. It's going to be an 8-second violation. And Outlaws back with possession 2 minutes into this one, leading 1-0. Reyes already with one over on the far side. Reyes skirts free, looking to wind up, cuts back, goes up high now to Ben Royer. So one-touch pass, cutting in is Simonson up to Royer, and Royer with the shot and stopped down low. Is dropping down on that one was McMillan. Sent up through center, all the way down the floor. Nobody seems to have an edge on it. One-on-one battle, scooped up by Hobday. Hobday up the close side boards. Down low, close side corner, looking for it up high as Reyes looked to wind up. He elects to cut back instead as he waits for Gain to find his way onto the floor. Cross pass, Ben Royer bobbles it off a pass from his brother. And a low scooping shot goes just wide. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Outlaws do get one on as that's going to go off McMillan up into the roof. It is going to be awarded back. Outlaws possession with a fresh 30 to work with. Reyes. Royer back to Reyes. Reyes covered by McAdam. Off to another Royer. It's a shot, stop McMillan. McMillan doesn't want to make the same mistake twice as that's scooped out of midair by Gain. Gain cross pass and looking right in front was Forgrave shoveling it over to Ben Royer. Missed him, still picked up. A quick shot ends up right into the logo as McMillan drops down to his knees to make the stop. Rebels back the other way. Looking with open floor is Kerr as he gets a shot off, and that one's going to be stopped up by Hetman. Outlaws looking back as Kelly directs some traffic. They've got numbers the other way in a tic-tac-toe play. McMillan makes the first stop as Kelly is just going to hover right in front of McMillan. Takes a few whacks. That's sent up to George as he's going to slow it down, wait for the reinforcements. 4 minutes gone by here inside Ken Nickel. Thank you for tuning into NetFront Sports. My name is Keenan, bringing you all of the action in this Senior B matchup as Greg Beret runs up to the top and rips one through traffic and ties this game at ones. 4:04 elapsed. As jumping the start are the Rebels. It's going to be awarded to the Outlaws. The Outlaws over on the far side, now up high. Simonson keeps it moving. Looking behind, and a behind the net shot. They're going to call it off as stepping in the crease was Joe Royer. Rebels just barely beating the 8 seconds as Wheaton brings it in. Wheaton looking in front as Fouliard was making his way in. Is now a hard shot from Fouliard. Finds its way into the twine as he may not have found it the first go, but he sure will find it the second time. Off the draw, Rebels are going to scoop it back, but not before the Outlaws will get the possession of it. It's Foregrave. Foregrave weighing the options, elects to hold in the close side corner. Covered by Chivers. Spin move, Foregrave, as he's going to go in front and a quick one-touch shot by Gain. McMillan with the stop. It's the Rebels find their first lead as George brings it in. As now the Rebels were looking maybe for a behind the net shot of their own. And they're not going to get it as he steps in the crease. Outlaws the other way. Shoveled over and shot McMillan. As Dewart is trying to get it. And now there's going to be a penalty on the play. It's going to be an illegal body contact penalty here to the Rebels. So the Outlaws will get the first look on the man advantage of this one, with the Rebels up by a single. Outlaws opportunity to tie it up. As Simonson will get this started for the Outlaws. Foregrave, Simonson moving it around. Simonson looking and they are going to count it as Simonson. What a assist on that goal. As I believe it was Ben Royer who will be credited with it, and it will be. As Ben Royer standing behind the net, Simonson, it looked like he may have been trying to pick top corner, and I think he actually did have McMillan fooled, and I don't know if McMillan knew Royer was back there, but Royer wide open behind McMillan to tie this game at 2s. Kelly moves it up as the Outlaws looking to put the foot on the gas. Another shot, diving this time. McMillan drops down, makes the stop. Kerr brings it in. Kerr still holding with 3 separate defenders on him. Passing off. Moving into the far side corner with it now. Now up high, firing one on was Fouliard, looking for his second of the game. Regains. Holding. Looked for Bourret. Goes to George, close side corner. George gets some help. Now up to Fouliard, as Fouliard is going to get knocked off by Baldock. Maintains possession. Runs it behind the net. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Got to make something happen. Being covered, and the Outlaws, good defensive effort to knock that one free. As we're going to move back the other way with it in the stick of Tokar. As he goes to Reyes. Gain. Simonson. Royer. Back over Reyes. The shot that hits a defender on the way to the net. Outlaws maintain possession. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Simonson rips one just wide. Rebels looking for the outlet was Albrecht. Albrecht cuts back off to Wheaton. Wheaton. Far side corner. Looking in front. The pass was cut off there. I think it was going for Fraser Barrett. And Hobday cuts it off. Outlaws go back on the offensive. 12:20 to play here in the first. Dewart to Forgrave. Forgrave looking for a low shot. And they're saying that went off McMillan up into the roof. Outlaws fresh 30 possession. Simonson, Dewart, Royer, Simonson. Now Ben Royer. Passing over, ripping one on as Dewart fired that one into McMillan, and again off him into the roof. The Outlaws just firing on all cylinders right now, keeping the Rebels hemmed into their own defensive zone. As Royer's going to elect to cut back. Cross to his brother, now in front, Forgrave. He hits right where the crossbar and the post meet. And talk about a game of inches there. Outlaws could easily be up 3-2. As running it in, looking, quick shot opportunity from McAdam. That's stopped by Hetman. Run in by Nielsen. Drops it off, goes for a change. Simonson holding. Waits for everybody to come on. Little fake move with Gain. Simonson now down low, close side corner. As the Outlaws were missing one on the floor, and Ben Royer comes on. As Forgrave cuts back, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Sends that one just a little bit wide, and that one's going to go all the way down the floor. As the Outlaws will end up in the stick of Hetman. He has to drop that one as the shot clock expires. As the Outlaws looking to get the D on the floor as fast as they can. Rebels now looking to set up. Barrett to Bourret. That's going to be a cut pass. Now Luke Royer. He stops up on Bourret, gets it over to Joe Royer. Firing one on, that's off the pad of McMillan. Picked up his own rebound is Royer. Simonson floated over too. Simonson checks who he's got with him. Reyes fires one. And picked up by Royer. Fresh 30. Simonson up high with it. Simonson behind the back pass that was intended for Ben Royer. Missed everyone, and that's going to be picked up now by McAdam. As McAdam, Rebels the other way with numbers. Hetman makes the initial stop and can't quite pick that one up. Was Albrecht. So the Outlaws look to go back to work on a fast break opportunity. His first shot by Green gets stopped up. Picked up by Forgrave. Royer slowing it down to Ben, back to Joe. Royer still holding and looking Forgrave back door. McMillan had that side completely squeezed off as he makes the short pass and taking a high hit there from Gain. There's going to be no penalty on the play as the Outlaws regain possession in their own zone. Just over halfway through the first here, 2-2. We're tied as the Outlaws and the Rebels in an affair that is slowly ramping up in physicality over these first 10 minutes. The pace, unbelievable. Outlaws to Simonson. Simonson looks to cut in, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Cutting back. It's a shot from Dewart. Stopped by McMillan, sliding left to right. Rebels now the other way. Holding. Kerr. Passing off. Fouliard. Fouliard spin move. Passing back. 10 seconds on the shot clock as Bourret with it. Close side, low shot, stopped by Hetman. Hits the netting. And we will get the media timeout. The media timeout here of the first. Well, we thank you for tuning in here on NetFront Sports. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. Be notified every time we go live all season long across Junior B Tier 1, Senior B, and Alberta Major Female. This is a good time to thank our sponsors here on the network, Sports Central and Rival Sportswear. A little more on them later on in this game. So 8.5 to go here. Rebels with the possession out of the TV timeout. Is Bourret to Barrett. Barrett, Fouliard. Now looking down low and backdoor opportunity for Bourret. That goes up into the netting and will be awarded Outlaws possession as they cross the half. Tokar to Reyes. Cross Simonson. Back to Reyes. Down low Royer. Forgrave, quick pass off. It's now Royer with a shot. That goes off the shoulder. And there's going to be a penalty coming up on the play here to the Rebels, as the Outlaws are going to hold and wait for the extra man. Extra man coming on will be Josh Dewart. Royer to Dewart. Back to Royer. Cross, Forgrave, Simonson. Shot goes just wide, scooped out of midair, no. Thought Ben Royer had it, but it's going to be touched by Murphy. And we will get the penalty called here to the Rebels, as the Outlaws will go on their second power play of this game. It's going to be a 2-minute tripping call the way of the Rebels. So the Outlaws, 1 for 1. Is Ben Royer credited with the lone power play goal on the lone power play of the game. Outlaws back to work. Simonson quarterbacking up top. Dewart, Simonson, Dewart, Royer. Down low, back up high. Simonson, penalty coming up on the play as that's ripped on, and Rebels touch it up, and they're going to head back to the box and for a long 5-on-3 power play. A couple players get tied up in front of the net, and the Rebels, I think, went a bit high with that hit. As it's going to be a 2-minute cross-checking to Zayden Blake, as he's going to get comfortable here in the box for the next 2 minutes. As I believe they actually overrode the initial penalty on the clock, so they're trying to get the second one back up there again. So we'll just take a short timeout here while they get that sorted. as now it is fixed up there. So it was only 20 seconds into the power play. So the Outlaws are going to play 4 down low, 1 up high to keep it in the offensive zone. Royer and Simonson are going to play a little bit of hot potato back and forth with Forgrave down there. Forgrave backdoor scores. It's Forgrave. We'll get the Outlaws back in the lead on a power play marker. That only erases 1 penalty. Still 1:45 of power play time remaining for Beaumont. Stalemate off the draw, won by the Rebels, as the Rebels of Nolski is looking to push his way in. Passed off McAdam at the top. Going down low, remember Rebels short-handed for the next 1:20. Rebels just trying to kill off as much time as they can with 7 seconds on the shot clock. George was looking to wind up. He's going to elect to hold it. He gets knocked down, tries to get it as far down as he can. And they're going to call a delay of game penalty here on Eric George as he put his stick over the ball. As the shot clock came to an expiry, Eric George covering the ball with his stick. So back to the 5-on-3, go the Outlaws. As George will sit for 2. So 1:09 of 5-on-3 once again for the Outlaws. It's going to be the exact same setup here. With Royer, Simonson, Forgrave, and Dewart down low, with Kelly up high to keep it in the O-zone. Kelly down to Forgrave. Simonson, Royer. Royer holds. Simonson looks to cut in. And a nice stick in the lane there by Chivers as McMillan looking to knock that one free. Ball loose now, finally picked up by the Rebels as the shot clock comes to an expiry, as you heard. Doesn't matter, as should have been reset. Rebels short-handed now. Chivers. Chivers holding, far side corner. Runs it behind the net as he looks for a behind the net shot and didn't quite angle it far enough as that bounced in front of the goal line and directly up. About to come back onto a 5-on-4 here are the Rebels. 3 seconds left in the penalty. As now out of the box comes Blake onto the floor. Dropping down with him will be Ben Royer. Quick shot there. Stop McMillan. 5 to play here in the first. 3-2. Outlaws lead here on NetFront Sports. Rebels. Flett brings it in, looking for Bourret. He's now taking some whacks. Was Green. Kept now by the Rebels. Blake holding far side to Barrett. Now Bourret, close side, holds. Looks at his options as there's about 2 seconds to separate the shot and penalty clocks right now. So the Rebels will look to kill as much of this off as they can. As winding, firing one on to Hetman from far out was Barrett. As the penalty will expire and we're back to 5-on-5. Outlaws, Forgrave checks the clock, realizes that we're back to even strength. 4 minutes to play here in the first. Simonson holds, looking to wind up, fakes a first shot. Now to Forgrave. Forgrave is going to fire that one on McMillan. That one stopped up. Brought up by McAdam. Dishes off, goes for a change. Kerr, far side. Kerr weighs the option, still holds far side corner. Now up to George. George backing down, back to Kerr. Kerr runs it in, fire, scores! Finds its way past Hetman. As one of the Outlaws players gets knocked down, and Kerr immediately checks on him. Just make sure he's good. So 3-3 with 3:31 to play here in the first. Shots right now favoring the Outlaws 22-12 through the first 16 and a half. As the Outlaws jump the start, it's going to be Rebels ball. So the Rebels will look for 2 in a row. Firing one on, Kerr looking for another. That one stopped by Hetman as he sends that one the length of the floor. All the way down to McMillan as McMillan had his stick knocked. There'll be a penalty coming up on the play here to Britton. As the Rebels look to work with the 6-on-5 delayed penalty call. Slowed down, Fouliard far side. Barrett. Fouliard now down low. Can't quite catch a number. Back up high, low shot. Drops down Hetman, turns aside. Kept by the Rebels as they get a fresh 30 to work with. Looking back door. Popped up and lands in the stick of Kelly. And we will get the slashing call here on the Outlaws. So Britton heads to sit for 2 in the sin bin. First slashing with 2:27 to play here in the first. Rebels moving around the outside. George up top quarterbacking. Shot, scores! And Dylan Kerr will get his second of the game. This one, a power play marker. And all it took was 12 seconds to make the Outlaws pay for their crimes. Stalemate off the draw, kicked back into the Rebels zone. Grabbed by the Rebels, as now they'll look to extend the lead heading into the first intermission. George looked to pass it down low, cut off by the Outlaws, as now they turn on the Jets. Quick shot off of the post by Tokar. It's Royer with it now, far side. Joe Royer holds it as stick gets slashed out of the hands of Tokar by a Rebel. There'll be a penalty on the play. So it's going to be Outlaws 6-on-5 on a delayed penalty call. Forgrave directing some traffic, telling Simonson to set a screen. Cross back to Forgrave. Forgrave to Simonson. Simonson fires one. Second chance opportunity. What a stop by McMillan. McMillan down and out of it with a windmill stop to keep this a 4-3 game. And as the Rebels touch it up, the Outlaws will head back to the power play. Simonson starts it off. Royer to Simonson now. Simonson back down to Royer down low, behind the net with it. Pass back across for Royer as we enter the final minute of the first. Royer Simonson back across, down low, looking. Royer's shot stopped McMillan as a Rebel gets knocked down in front of the net. Quick to get up though, was flat. So Rebels bring it back in. Chivers looking to cut in, gets a quick shot off, and that one is going to be stopped up by Hetman. As that will go off Hetman up into the netting, be awarded back to the Rebels now with 35 to play in the first. George. Barrett and Bourret. Still holding. There's about a half-second shot and game clock separation here, as the Rebels will have to get one off at least. They get one off there for Hetman. As now Rebels still holding, 4 seconds left. As Bourret was actually kind of held there, and they will call the penalty with time expiring here in the first. So there will be a penalty coming up here to the Outlaws to start the second. However, through the first 20 minutes here in the Ken Nickel Regional Rec Center, the Rebels with the 4-3 lead over the Outlaws. My name is Keenan. You're watching NetFront Sports. We'll be back with the second in just about 10 minutes' time. Well, welcome back inside the Ken Nickel Regional Rec Center. Second period action about to get underway here between the Beaumont Outlaws and the visiting Fort Saskatchewan Rebels here for some Senior B lacrosse. Through the first 20 minutes, 4-3 Rebels with the lead. And a penalty right at the end of the period to Chris Britton, I believe for holding it was. So we'll start this period 4-on-4. So starting 4-on-4, it's going to be won here by the Rebels, as we'll switch ends here for the second. Rebels now heading left to right and Outlaws right to left. George with it far side. Down low, Bure. Bure's going to cut in, get a shot off. That one shouldered down by Hetman. George looking for a second chance opportunity. That one stopped as it catches a piece of Kelly en route to the net. Outlaws back the other way on the fast break. Quick shot by Tokar. It's going to be stopped by McMillan, as the Rebels will slow it down here as they're about to head to a shortened power play for the next minute 12. So Rebels now on the power play. George up top with it. He's got Bure, Kerr, Wheaton. And I can't quite catch a number of the final on the floor. I believe it is Barrett, as Kerr just scoops it back with the shot clock coming to an expiry. Outlaws pass it down quickly. Looking for a fast break. They're not going to get one. Keep in mind, still on a penalty kill for the next 45 seconds. Simonson holds. He's going to dish it off to Royer. Royer holding down low. Just looking to kill off some time as Joe Royer now being manhandled by three players, as Royer's stick goes a quarter of the way down the floor as it was knocked out of his hands. And Outlaws will have possession here with 27 seconds left on the penalty and a fresh 30 to work with. They can kill off the rest of this if they want to. Outlaws, Forgrave holding up high. He's just going to kill off the time, gets it to Reyes. Reyes weighs the options to Royer. Ben Royer knocked down as Forgrave is going to look to fire one back 5-on-5, gets a first shot. That one goes just wide, so it will be a 30-second shot clock violation and free possession for the Rebels. Blake brings it in, being covered. Blake turns on the Jets, trying to get around two defenders. Still holds the ball after getting slightly knocked down. Now it's knocked free. Kept in by Fouliard. Fouliard cutting in. Shot scores! Marcus Fouliard, his second of the game on Chayton Hetman. As Hetman is making his way to the bench. Believe he is looking to change out the stick. It's exactly what he's going to do. As it looks like he's going to go to a full wood stick here, off from the composite top that he had before. Or if it was not full wood, it sure looked like a composite top on the previous stick. So the Rebels will win the possession off the draw and look for another one, as a shot dropping down was Hetman. It's the Rebels now with their largest lead anybody's actually had in this game so far, of 2 goals. Outlaws looking to set up as Simonson holds. Waits for everybody to come back on. Gets it off Forgrave to Simonson. Reyes. Reyes looking to wind up. He passes back up to Simonson. Simonson winds, fires one. Stop McMillan. Second chance maybe, as grabbed by Dewart. So now Reyes all alone takes a shot, turned aside McMillan. Bure comes in, his player gets knocked down on the way to the bench. No penalty coming up on the play here. Rebels may have gotten away with one compared to some of the things that the referees have been calling so far tonight. Rebels looking to push in now. Cutting back is Barrett. Barrett looks to go down low as that one just floats onto Hetman. And now the Outlaws back the other way. Britton looking in front. Royer shot as McMillan drops down, turns it aside. Royer to Royer. Reyes. Down low is Royer. Simonson gets absolutely obliterated in front of the net. Bit of a suey pass there. As now the Rebels will go back to work in the offensive zone. Just over 4 minutes gone by here in the second. Bure, far side. Bure fires one on. That one patted aside by Hetman, kept by the Rebels. So Rebels get a change off. So they were looking to move back into the offense or defensive zone and had to throw the offense back on. Bure spins off his man behind the back pass, missed everybody, and almost found its way to Wheaton. And now it's going to be the Outlaws. It's Royer up with Baldock. Baldock cuts off as Ben Royer will hold far side. Royer up top, Gain. To Reyes, to Royer, now Forgrave. Forgrave cuts back in, knocked loose, still holds. 4 seconds on the shot clock as diving shot from behind the net stepped in the crease. Rebels back left to right. It's McAdam. He's going to dish it off to Barrett as he goes for a change. Barrett looks to cut in, cuts back. Wheaton is looking for Fouliard. Fouliard already with 2. There's Forgrave now. He's going to go the other way. Forgrave on a partial break opportunity shot as that's going to catch nothing but the iron. Rebels cross the half. 6 minutes gone by here in the second. 5-3 Rebels lead here on NetFront Sports. Winding, firing, turned aside Hetman. Wheaton looked for a cross pass to Bure. That was cut en route. As De Girolamo will hold and bounce it over to Simonson. De Girolamo trying to set a pick on him and help out Simonson. Not really to much avail as Simonson will hold and get it off to Gain. Gain, quick pass across, now finds its way back to Simonson. Simonson looking to back his way in against George. Knocked free, and now it's going to be George and Albrecht back the other way as Albrecht is going to cut off and go for a change. Kept, now given off Wheaton. Finds its way up high, Bure. Bure cutting in far side, looking to go down low, I believe intended for Kerr. Missed the initial, and now was looking maybe for a diving shot. Wasn't going to get one as Bure gets knocked off kilter as he attempted a shot. That ball is going to go up into the netting and out of play. Outlaws back the other way. Kelly looking to push in quickly. He does. He's got a couple of Rebels defenders in front of him. He elects to hold. Passes off. Far side boards. Cross. Reyes. Reyes looking around. Player gets knocked down in front of the net. No penalty. Kelly. Shot. Stop. Second chance opportunity. Goes high. The Rebels are going to win that fight along the close side corner. It's Fouliard. He's going to dish off behind the back. Shot goes wide. Second chance opportunity. Shoot, scores. As the Rebels will extend the lead a little bit further, now doubled up on the Outlaws, 6-3. Loose ball off the draw. Cross pass. So now the Outlaws looking to get it back quickly. Held by Duart. Duart gets it up to Simonson. Simonson is now an opportunity there. Player gets knocked down. Rebels now back the other way. Is that goal? Sorry, I did not say who that was. That was Darren Beret with the goal for the Rebels wearing the number 95. There's a shot from the Rebels. Stopped Hetman. It's Outlaws back the other way. Nielsen was looking. Now up top. Pass intended for Ben Royer as he looks to keep it in. That one crosses the half as the Rebels will pick it up. Blake shovels it down for Beret, and now a quick shot, and maybe no. Hetman stops Kerr in his tracks. Outlaws back right to left. 11 minutes to play here in the middle frame. Royer to Foregrave. Now Reyes, and down low for Royer. Reyes, Foregrave, Royer. Royer, Foregrave, back across to Royer. Down. And now looking for a shot. He does get it off just in time was Simonson. There is a Rebel down in front of their own net. So the Rebels come back the other way, and we will get a whistle here. As slow to get up was Caden Flett. Flett limping slightly back to the bench, but up under his own power, which is always good to see. So Rebels will restart with this possession. Down low. Now back up high with it is George. Off Fouliard to Beret. Knocked free by Tokar. Now back the other way. Here's Kelly as he gets lit up. And an opportunity on a diving shot by Green. There is a penalty on the play. And penalty to the Rebels. So it will be a 2-minute illegal body contact penalty. And the Outlaws will head back to the power play. So far with 2 power play goals in this one. And we will have the TV timeout here of the second period. Well, we thank you so much here for tuning in to NetFront Sports. Tonight's broadcast sponsored by Rival Sportswear, Canada's fastest growing custom apparel brand. Alberta owned and operated, always custom, always affordable. Elevate your team with Rival Sportswear. as the Outlaws will restart us out of this TV timeout on the power play. Looking for their third power play goal, and I believe it's 4 opportunities.
The Rebels penalty to number 3, Fossil Ray, 2 minutes for illegal body contact. Time of penalty 9:56.
As the Rebels had an opportunity shorthanded back the other way as Blake was turned aside by Hetman. So Ray sitting in the box for 2 minutes for an illegal body contact penalty. As the Rebels just looking to kill off some time on the PK. Minute 18 of it to go. As the Outlaws will look to break free. They've got numbers 2-on-1, slowed down now by Hobday. Hobday gives it off to Forgrave. Outlaws will look to set up as Simonson comes on. Quarterbacking with Royer, Forgrave, and Duert. Cross. Now back, and Forgrave with a shot turned aside McMillan. Ball loose. Simonson fighting one-on-one against Chivers. Breaks free of it, gets it off to Forgrave. Royer. Pass cross now. Simonson to Royer. Forgrave, Royer, Simonson, shot just wide, and ball is going to bounce all the way down. Will be an over and back on the Outlaws. 22 seconds left on the penalty to Ray, which means that it will be the Rebels killing off the remainder of this penalty. Look for them to run a play here as soon as it expires in 5 seconds. It's Beret already going to get it started. As Ray now out of the box. 8 seconds on the shot clock. As they are preeminently, the Rebels, going to send their defense back. And the Outlaws, now a 5-on-5, 2 for 4 on the night. Look to set up. Reyes, cross, now up, it was Gain. Reyes, Simonson, spin move, once, no, twice. Royer gets knocked loose. Simonson, and a shot from Joe Royer, I believe, no, sorry, that was Ben Royer, my apologies. There's 3 Royers on this Outlaws team, and I keep confusing which one is which number, as behind the play, Gain is going to get knocked down. And the Rebels will head to the box. So it will be a 4-on-4 out of this. See what the official penalties here are. I believe it's a couple of slashing to the Rebels and a unsportsmanlike conduct to the Outlaws.
Penalty to number 3, Alan Gain, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. And to the Rebels, number 55, Ryan McBride, 2 minutes for slashing. Time penalty 7:05.
So McBride gets 2 for slashing, and the Outlaws will get 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's why we're playing some 4-on-4, as the Outlaws will look to use the open space. Looking down low. He's now with it. Pass off. Shot from Forgrave from out far. Catches a piece of McMillan. Fresh 30. As Rebels will grab possession of it and get a fresh 30 of their own, as half the penalties have gone by. Rebels Bring it in. It's a Beret. Looking in front. Chivers holds, cutting around the net, and dishes it off to Kerr. Kerr with a shot. Stopped Hetman. 5:40 to play in the second. Kelly to Forgrave. Forgrave slowly moving it in on the far side. 25 seconds of 4-on-4 to go. Reyes looks to wind up on the first one and tries to float a second one over the shoulder. Goes wide. Is now Royer. Was trying to back his way in. Forgrave grabs, looks in front for Reyes. 10 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Is now Ray back the other way. He's being covered. He's going to elect to cut back. Shakes off his man. And a nice defensive stick by Green to knock that one free. Kept by Wheaton as we're back 5-on-5 now. Wheaton to Beret. Cross over on far side to George. Fouliard rips one on, stopped by Hetman. Fouliard looking for his third of the game, as they did not reset the shot clock in time, which is why you would have heard that one. Simonson. Forgrave. Looking to set the play, gets it off to Reyes. Back to Forgrave. The shot goes off the shoulder of McMillan. 4:21 to go in the second. Loose battle for the loose ball on the close side board. It's going to be won by the Rebels as Murphy runs it in, slows it down in the close side corner. Sent over to Barrett, up high. That's penalty coming up on the play here to the Outlaws. So the Rebels will play some 6-on-5 on the short-handed, or on the delayed penalty call. Back and forth a few times. Fouliard looks down low behind the back. Shot pass, as that's going to be touched up by the Outlaws. And it will be a slashing call to the Outlaws with 3:45 to play in the second. It's Ben Hobday will sit for slashing. Restarted now by George. George. Kerr. George. Looking at his options. Quick pass, Fouliard. Floated through the center to nobody. Barrett's going to run after it to try and grab it one-on-one against Royer. Sorry, that's not Royer, that's Britton. Finds way to George. George. Did they get it in time? They did. As Greg Beret will get his second of the game, as I was unsure if that one was going to count as a shot clock went off. But it will count. 7-3. Rebels lead the Outlaws. Stalemate off the face-off. Kicked up by the Outlaws. Nielsen crosses the half, gets it to Joe Royer. Royer. Simonson. He's looking to run the play. Back up Simonson. Quick pass, shot. Now Royer, quick shot. Goes off the back up into the netting, so will be Rebels possession with 2.5 to go here in the second. You can tell the speed and the physicality of this game, as these two clubs do not like each other. Beret now with 2. Looking for a third as that one goes off the iron and off of Hetman. Stays out. Beret a little spin move falling, as it's going to be brought back in by Britton. Britton, he's got help if he needs it. He's going to elect to slow it down far side, pass off to Forgrave, go for a change. Forgrave with just over 2 minutes to go here in the second. Forgrave trying to find some lane to work with, gets one off on McMillan. Some extra pushing and shoving in front of the net. Nothing more is going to come of it. His gain was all over the front. As now Outlaws look for a quick shot. That one's going to go off of a, there's going to be actually a penalty on the play here for an illegal substitution. As I thought the Outlaws were taking a penalty there for the player that got knocked down in front of the Rebels net. But it will be the Outlaws heading to the penalty box instead for an illegal substitution. Is debating on who to put in there. They're going to put Baldock in there. So Rebels will head back to the power play with 1:47 to play here in the second.
The Outlaws penalty, Ben Schreiner, illegal substitution, 2 minutes. Being served by number 6, Beaumont.
George up top. Looking to bounce it to Kerr. Missed the first one. Gained it off the wall. George up high. He's going to rip one on just wide of Hetman. That one is going to bounce up high. And an awkward fall there from Luke Royer. Quick to get up, though, as he heads to the bench. Luke Royer getting checked out by a teammate on the bench as Josh Jeremy is giving him a quick pat down as the Rebels had a beautiful opportunity on the Outlaws to extend the lead. However, the Outlaws will look to cut down on that 4-goal lead that the Rebels currently hold here in the final minute. 45 to go. Remember, Outlaws shorthanded for it as a little fake off between Reyes and Forgrave. As that one slowed down, 2 seconds left on the shot clock. So the Rebels will just leave it to get the free possession. With 29 seconds to go, the Rebels bench will call a timeout with 28.2 seconds to play here in the second. So out of his net right now is John McMillan. He will look to head to the bench as soon as this play gets started and deep enough, as George will slowly walk it in with 24 seconds left in the period. Currently on the power play as well, 5-on-4. Wait until about that 10-second for them to run this play. As we hit the 10 seconds, McMillan will stay in the net for this, as the Rebels will run the play. Looking back door was Barrett, and that one missed him. And that will do it here for the second through 40 minutes here inside Ken Nickel Regional Rec Center. Visiting Fort Saskatchewan Rebels lead the Beaumont Outlaws by a score of 7-3. Well, my name is Keenan. You're watching NetFront Sports, and we'll be back with the third in just under 10 minutes time. Well, welcome back inside Ken Nickel Regional Rec Center as we get set for third period action here between the Beaumont Outlaws and the visiting Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. Through the first 40 minutes, I guess, of play here. 7-3, the Rebels with the lead. Shots favoring the Outlaws at the moment. 39-38 as the Rebels will start this period on a very short power play opportunity for all of the next 10 seconds. As the Rebels will move back right to left here in the third. Barrett up high. Kerr passing off Fouliard. Fouliard looks to cut in, get a shot off. That one is going to be turned aside by Hetman up into the netting. So it will be Rebels ball once more. Close side, Beret. Fouliard fires one on, stopped Hetman's second opportunity. It started to make its way towards the net. Hetman tried to cover it as there's going to be a penalty on the play here for slashing. As I thought it was to the Outlaws for a Rebel going down, but I believe it's actually the Rebels that are taking the call. So Fraser Barrett will sit for 2 for slashing as he slashed Hetman to knock that ball free. So the Outlaws back to work, 2 for 4. Simonson shot, gets turned aside, kept by Royer. Royer to Forgrave. Forgrave, low shot, and McMillan has to drop down to make the stop. Did it go over the line? Does not look like it. It's a nice job by McMillan just to drop down and save that one. As Flett gets a couple whacks taken out of him, passes off to Fouliard. Fouliard short-handed, looking to push in down low, gets thrown up as Green knocks the stick out of the hand of Fouliard, and he just grabs it right out of midair. As now Beaumont the other way. Joe Royer, Simonson, Forgrave, Simonson, Royer, Simonson. Looking to wind up at the top of the circle to Royer, who fires and scores. And put Joe Royer on the board now. Cuts the lead down to 3 with 18 and change to go in this one. Outlaws. Forgrave runs it behind the net. Forgrave waiting for some help. Passing off now. Outlaws looking to cut the lead down yet again. Forgrave with possession fires it just a couple inches too far to the far side, and now the Rebels back the other way. 2-on-1 opportunity here as player gets knocked down, and they are going to award that to the Outlaws. Reyes looking. Instead of going to Royer, goes to Simonson, who passes it down to Royer. Royer to his brother. Now back Simonson with a shot. McMillan drops down to make the stop. Picked up by the Rebels as they're going to move back the other way. Brought over the half. Rebels down low looking for the shot. It did not land in the back of the stick and was free. So Joe Royer is going to pick that one up with 17 to play, only down by a triple. Simonson's going to wind up and fire, and looking back door for a second chance opportunity where the Outlaws, this player gets knocked down. They're saying play is going to keep continuing here as the Outlaw, whoever it was, has the stick knocked free. And we'll see what they do here as referees are going to blow the whistle and have a little bit of a discussion. So it's going to be Rebels ball here, as the Rebels will look to even up the season series here against the Outlaws. The only time that they played each other, had to look back to May 20th, where it was a 13-9 win for the Outlaws over the Rebels when the Rebels were the home team. Now the Rebels on their way to the victory when the Outlaws are the home team. Rebels behind the net with it, looking up front. Here's George. Pass off, now looking for Barrett, who was cutting in. That one was knocked free. And the Outlaws will move back left to right. Green brings it in, flips it to Simonson. Simonson draws up a play. Gain on the far side. Now close side Royer, low shot, stop McMillan. McMillan looking to just send this one down the floor. He does, right into the stick of Greg Beret. Beret holding it as he's going to fake with Kerr. It's Beret up high. He's going to rip one on, stopped by Hetman. As Hetman gets the stick down and is going to send that one up the floor. Intended for Baldock, missed. And now it's going to be Ray. Ray fast breaking the other way. And now popped out to the top for Wheaton, as Wheaton will slow it down and redirect some traffic with 15 to play. George down low in the close side corner. Looking to back in, cuts back, gets it across. Fouliard looking for another one, bounces it off the floor and off the iron up into the roof. Caught a piece of Hetman. So will be Rebels possession with a fresh 30. Foulier takes a slash, can hear it. As a quick shot there from Wheaton. Almost had Hetman down and out. As Beret gets it up at the top, passes to Foulier. Foulier still looking for his third of the game, as he was looking to cut in, knocked free by Green. As now the Outlaws have the numbers 3-on-1 the other way. Here come the Outlaws. Forgrave, quick shot, stop McMillan. Second chance will not happen for the Outlaws. This player is going to get knocked down, so they will award this back to the Outlaws. Reyes gets it to Royer. Down low, now back up high is Gain. Royer, far side. Looking, gets it to Forgrave on the close side. Forgrave, look, backdoor shot by Gain. Misses, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Forgrave, shot, misses again. As that one is going to end up getting sent back by the Outlaws. Force the Rebels to restart from as far back as they can with 13:45 to play. Kerr with 2, including a power play goal on the far side. Brought in, being covered by Osterman. He's going to dish it to George. George winds up and rips one wide. Is that ball going to bounce the other way? And now Kelly. Kelly with a breakaway opportunity as he is not able to pick it up. Is there going to call an over and back here? And it will be the Outlaws with possession as Forgrave passes off to Dewart. Now in front. Picked up by the Rebels. Sent up. Far side board slowed down by McAdam. As McAdam gets around his man, it gets knocked free momentarily by Forgrave. Picked up again by McAdam as he's going to one-hand shovel it over to Greg Beret. And now up to George high. Far side boards now are the Rebels. Shot Fouliard. Turned aside back to the far side by Hetman. Picked up by the Rebels again. Another fresh 30 to work with as Fouliard waits for the reinforcements. Fouliard checking the clock. You'll see 12 and a half. Fouliard looking to run a play now as he spins around his man. Maybe gets knocked free. No. As I actually don't know where the ball ended up there, but it is now in the stick of Hobday, who gives it to Joe Royer. Joe Royer now in the Rebels' end, far side corner. Now up high, Reyes. Reyes is going to give it to Gain. Well, now he gives it to Gain. As Gain is going to fire that one wide, kept by Simonson right in front of the Rebels' bench. Simonson looking for some open floor to work with as Royer's going to send that one on and stopped by McMillan with 11:47 to go. 7-4 Rebels still leading here in Ken Nickel Regional Rec Center as we come down the stretch as the Rebels look to defeat the Outlaws in game number 2 of their season series. Greg Beret in front of the Outlaws bench, walks it in, now jogs it in a little deeper, pops it out to Wheaton up high. Wheaton's going to send that one down low as that ends up right into the stick of Britton, as Britton's going to run it down the floor. Numbers the other way. Britton and Forgrave. Forgrave with a shot that goes just wide as Britton got knocked down. That ball goes up into the roof. It did not catch a piece of McMillan, so it will be Rebels possession. Murphy crosses the half and floats it over to Kerr as Forgrave was bearing down on him. Kerr, he's got Green with him. Gets knocked down, and great defensive effort by the Outlaws as they're just trying to knock it free along the boards in the far side corner. They do. As Nielsen brings it in across the half, 2-on-1 again. Nielsen pushes his way in as he's going to take out McMillan to be a penalty, and everybody's on top of one another as Nielsen. And now there's an extra little shot there from Reyes on Longmire as they're exchanging some words. So referees looking to separate them. Referees do separate them. We'll see what the official penalty is here. I believe it will be a goaltender interference on Nielsen as everybody is up under their own power. So referee currently signaling that there'll be 5 minutes to the Outlaws and 4 minutes to the Rebels here. As I believe that is going to be Ryan McBride heading to the box for the Rebels. We'll see what the official call is here once the referee makes the official signals. Looks like McBride is getting 2 compounded 2 minutes. So we'll see what it is. So it's going to be 5-minute goaltender interference to the Outlaws, and it's going to be a 4-minute roughing call to McBride. As they just get it sorted out here on the score clock. As the They have a 4 and a 2 up on the clock right now as something's going on down in the scorekeeper's area. They're not having a good time right now. As they can't get rid of it, so they'll just play on. So it is officially going to be 4 on 4 here. As a quick shot from out far from George. George fights for it to keep it. He does. Kicks it out to Kerr. Kerr over on the far side. Kerr looks to wind up, fires one on Hetman. That one stopped, scooped up now by the Outlaws. Back the other way with it is Britton. Britton passes off, looking down low, quick shot. Second chance opportunity for Britton. Maybe a third as the Outlaws do keep. As Forgrave now holds in the close side boards. Now over on the far side. As Britton looks to spin into it. That one knocked free by Flett. As Flett thought he had the ball, he didn't, but it did cross just in time for the 8 seconds. So play will continue. It's Foulier now with it. Being covered by Kelly. Far side. Now up high, George. Barrett with a quick shot. As that one's going to bounce off the boards as the Outlaws will look back the other way. Here's Hobday. Hobday gets drilled down to the floor. Gets a reset. Hobday can't find his footing as they need a wipe down over in the Rebels crease. So we will take the NetFront Sports TV timeout here with 9:04 to play in the third and final frame. Well, tonight's player of the game will be presented by Sports Central. Sports Central recycles and redistributes sports equipment to kids 4 to 17 in families facing financial hardship. Follow NetFront Sports on Instagram at @NetFront_sports for the Sports Central player of the game following tonight's broadcast. So Rebels will restart in their own zone out of the TV timeout as Beret will send it down in the close side, down to the close side corner, now looking right in front as Kerr floated that over the net. Second chance opportunity cutting across. Stopped by Hetman as I actually don't know where it was. It was behind Hetman, but not over the goal line as now Joe Royer will bring it across the half for the Outlaws. With 8:40 to play, Outlaws trail by a triple. Here on NetFront Sports in the dying minutes. Simonson winds up, fires one just wide. Looking for a second chance are the Outlaws. Good defensive effort by the Rebels to ensure they can't get a second chance opportunity on it. Ball loose in the close side boards. Rebels just trying to get it over the half for the 8 seconds. So that's going to be an over and back call on the Rebels. So Outlaws back on the offensive. Still a minute and a half remains in the 4-on-4. Shot by Ben Royer, stopped by McMillan. McMillan gonna send it up as that pass gonna be cut by Joe Royer. Now Simonson. Simonson in all alone, shot stopped by McMillan. McMillan coming up huge here for the Rebels. Stick down on it is getting knocked down by Chivers. And instead of calling just a possession change, they will call a penalty here to Fort Saskatchewan, as it will be 2 minutes for cross-checking to Hudson Chivers. As Chivers and Nielsen are actually exchanging some words in the box, it sounds like they want to fight each other. Nielsen points up at our camera and says, we'll get it all on tape. There's some more issues here with the score clock. As they finally fix all the penalties up on the score clock. Back underway as the Outlaws with the 4-on-3 for another minute here. Outlaws, Royer is going to wind, fire, scores! Give Joe Royer his second of the game. Cuts the lead down to 2 with 7.5 to play. As once again just sorting out some of the score clock stuff here. I think the Outlaws bench is actually questioning why it was the minute 47 player that came out of the box, as referees are going to give them a quick answer on that one. As jumping the start will be the Rebels, so Outlaws will get possession, only down by 2 with 7:25 to play. Back 4-on-4 we are. Royer to Foregrave. Back in front, knocked down, was gain. Now it's a one-on-one chase after it, going to be grabbed by Flett. Flett is going to come in, stopped by Hetman. It's Foregrave, brings it back across the half. Foregrave checks his 6. He's got Dewart with him. Royer to Reyes. Reyes shoots and scores. And Reyes cuts the lead to 1. It's 7-6 for the Rebels. Off the draw. Won by the Rebels. Rebels get it to George. Rebels. They need to hem in the Outlaws now, as the Outlaws have all the momentum their way at the moment. George is going to swing it over, gets it back up high. Gets it back over to Kerr. Kerr's going to dish to Wheaton, and now over on the close side corner are the Rebels as they take a shot, as that one will go just wide. 30-second shot clock will expire. Outlaws back the other way with the momentum. 6 to play here in Ken Nickel. Bounce to Reyes. Reyes to Royer. Now Dewart. Back to Reyes to Royer. Simonson. 8 on the shot clock. Simonson fires one. That one stopped McMillan. Grabbed by Ray as Ray's going to bring it in. Ray, partial break in all alone. Now stopped partway there. Ray's going to dive in on the shot and knock the net off as trying to score it there were the Rebels, as the Outlaws will grab it and Hetman will reset his net. Simonson to Royer. Outlaws trying to slow it down a little bit. We're back 5-on-5, might I add. As Royer looks to cut in, as Forgrave will take a shot off the iron. Reyes trying to keep it in over the half. He cannot, but it's not going to matter because it went off of McMillan. Will not be an over and back. It's the Outlaws. Simonson with a shot and redirected. Royer almost got that in his stick to send a second chance opportunity that way. And now the Rebels back the other way, looking shot and stopped by Hetman as he throws up the shoulder. Outlaws with 4:40 to go, trailing by a single. Royer brings it in, looking for Forgrave, missed Forgrave, but he keeps. Checks, gets it up high to Dewart, who's going to pass to Royer, far side. Royer to Forgrave. Forgrave to Royer. Holds, back to Forgrave, fires, scores! Ethan Forgrave! That's his second, ties this game at 7s. We're back where we started, all tied up, down to the final 4:10. Simonson with it now as the Outlaws trying to keep their foot on the gas. Simonson with it now as he was almost nailed in the back there. Now over to Forgrave. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Looking to push in are the Outlaws. Just wide of Simonson. Simonson comes up 3 on the shot clock. He's going to send that on to McMillan. Ball loose in front, slowed down by McMillan as Royer, Ben Royer was right in front, looking to pick that one up. Rebels with it now, 3.5. George dishes off to Beret. Beret winds and fires right into the stick of Hetman. Hetman telling them, let's move it. Gets it across. Brought in by Green. Green's going to give it to Reyes with 3:12 to play. Reyes to Dewart. Back to Reyes. Reyes over to Forgrave. 8 on the shot clock. Forgrave now down low looking for Royer. Is coming out was McMillan. Tripped up Royer. No penalty coming up on the play there. As the Rebels moving back the other way. Blake to George. Down low, now back up high for George. George looking to get free. Wheaton had Kelly down, as driven into the boards by Tokar was Wheaton. Wheaton a bit slow to get up as he's dazed momentarily, but possession will go to the Rebels. And the Outlaws lucky to come away with that without a penalty. Beret up high. Now down low. Now looking to cut in. Shot stopped Hetman. And that one just gets batted out of midair. That one's going to get sent down as George and Simonson are going to battle one-on-one just on the other side of the half for it. Simonson not able to keep George hemmed in. George brings it across the half with 2 minutes to play. Beret down low is Barrett. Crosses to Wheaton. Wheaton covered by Kelly. Wheaton finds his way around Kelly. A little spin move to try and find his way around Green. Stopped Hetman. Outlaws with it now, minute 45. Joe Royer. To Reyes. Back to Royer. Duert. Forgrave. 12 on the shot clock. Gets it up to Reyes. Shot. Stop McMillan. That ball loose, picked up by the Rebels with a minute 22 to go. Brought across the half and slowed down as it gets to Greg Beret with a minute 12 to go. 16 left on the shot clock. Beret trying to move his way around. Looking to go up high with it. Bobbled and now shot. Hetman with the stop, under a minute to go. Britton slips a slash. Trying to get it to gain as ball loose. And now picked up by McAdam. McAdam back across the half as he slows it down with 45 to play. Kerr with 2. Holds on the far side. Pops it over to Greg Beret, also with 2. Beret, little spin move, 30 seconds to play, 10 on the shot clock. Beret behind the back shot. George is going to fire one just over the net. Kept by Foulier, now down low, diving shot, and stepped in the crease. Stopped by Hetman, and the Outlaws bench will call a timeout with 19.2 to play here in the third. As the whistle blows to get back into it. Hetman now at the bench. Outlaws going to go 6-on-5 with 19.2 to play. Once again, as you normally see here in Lacrosse, will be brought in by Simonson. He'll wait till the 10-second mark, or roughly 10-second mark, to run that play. 17, 15, 13, 11 seconds. Simonson checks the clock, 8 seconds left. Now they're going to run the play. 5 to go. Royer looking in front. Back door was Forgrave, just waiting for it as McMillan's going to pick that one up, try and send it down, but he's not going to send it down in time. That will do it for regulation time here in Ken Nickel. And let me tell you, if you asked me at the end of the second, would we be headed to extra time? I'd probably tell you no. But here we are, tied at 7s. We're going to go to overtime. And who doesn't love a little overtime lacrosse on a Friday night? Here on NetFront Sports, we'll be here shortly with the overtime period. So, if you haven't ever seen any overtime lacrosse, this is where things get very fun. 10 minutes is how we play this one. As I believe we play the full 10, but I could be wrong. It might actually be sudden death. They're saying each team has one timeout here as mutual respect between Hetman and McMillan as they give each other taps in front of the benches as they head to their respective nets. And sorry, I apologize. It is set to 5, so it will be a sudden death overtime. 10 minutes is the standard for a non-sudden death overtime. So here we go from Ken Nickel Regional Rec Center. A little bit of bonus lacrosse to start your weekend. As there's going to be a timeout called right off the hop here by the Outlaws bench as they gain possession off the face-off. They're going to look to drop a play early and try to send everybody home to get some beauty sleep. So Forgrave will start this for the Outlaws. And this is a smart play by the Outlaws because this gives them a free possession with nobody in front of Forgrave. Don't have to fight for it. As now the Outlaws going to go to work. Forgrave with it over on the far side. He's got Simonson helping set a pick. Gives it over. Now back up high for Forgrave. Simonson, far side boards. Looking, fires one. As that one bounces off the crossbar up into the roof. They're saying it caught a piece of McMillan. It will be Outlaws possession. Fresh 30 to work with. Outlaws, they're going to go for it again. Royer holding on the close side as he's going to pass the cross and fire by Forgrave, scores! Ethan Forgrave wins it for the Outlaws in overtime. The comeback successfully complete. Ethan Forgrave ripping that one from out far, finding its way past McMillan. And the Outlaws will go up 2-0 in the season series against the Rebels with 2 more to play later this season. Well, we thank you so much for tuning in here to NetFront Sports. My name is Keenan, bringing you all of the exciting lacrosse action this evening. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, be notified every time we go live. Also be sure to join the membership for as low as $5 a month. You will get exclusive access to different perks here on NetFront Sports, and for the upgraded tier for $9 a month, 24 hours early access to all podcasts here on the network, present and future. Well, once again, my name is Keenan. So long from the Ken Nickel Regional Rec Center. Your final score, Outlaws 8, Rebels 7.